Alrighty. Let's get started here today with the non-ELS tutorial. It's Finch Modifications here, and we are bringing you this tutorial here today. I'm recording with Streamlabs today, so we'll see how this one handles versus OBS. I think it'll do a lot better than OBS will. I mean, obviously it's still open broadcasting software, but nonetheless, we are using Mr. Peralta's 2018 Dodge Charger with all-wheel drive package on it today. I'm just going to set up my viewpoints to the pretty well standard format I like to use. And now that we're here, we're just going to go ahead and turn on LO, and I'm going to delete these two extra wheel options here. I'm not going to use them. You might on your vehicle, but this is just a tutorial. So now we're going to come up here, File, Merge, and we are going to go ahead and come here to the non-ELS tutorial file. There we go. Vision SLR. I'm using Razer's Vision SLR for this. Reason being is Otaku's Vision is kind of weird to use, which of course this one comes in backwards, so it's a pretty easy fix. So we'll just rotate around the Y-axis 180 degrees. Alrighty. And if you're doing this at this point, I would hope you have made quite a few cars already. Not necessarily quite a few, but I would definitely hope this is not your first undertaking, because rotators are not your friend. They are not. They are here to make you very frustrated and angry. However, I am here to tell you that rotators are going to become your friend. They are going to become very good friends with you. You're going to like each other very well. You're going to get invited to Rotator's bachelor party or some stupid shit. I don't know. Try to make this entertaining and just ruin it instead. So that's pretty well placed. I mean, could come forward a little bit. See, I've sent my feet through the roof. We'll call that good. That's pretty well placed, I'd say. So, rotators. Love them or hate them? That is the question. Sorry, someone messaged me on Discord, and apparently my taskbar is not one to show up on my right monitor. Or my top monitor, either. Alrighty, that's great. Out of 3 monitors, it only shows up on 1 now. Alright, but this is the Federal Signal Vision SLR from Razer, and this is what I'm going to be using for this tutorial. You can get it from his Patreon, pretty cheap. I would just get it anyway. I mean, I'm going to get a lot of shit for a decent price. May as well, right? So, each module here is going to have colors in it. And now, just because I really don't feel like changing the glass colors, we're just going to make these match the glass colors. So, yep, 6 will be white. 5 will be red. 4 will be white. This one will be blue, white, and red. So I'm just going to get rid of all of these that I'm not using. Alrighty, and we have gotten rid of all of those, so now we have the actual colors for each module. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to shut all those off. And it looks like we have takedowns down here and alleys on the sides. So we'll mess with those in a second, but we know for a fact we're going to use 7 sirens there, so we'll set those. Okay. We'll set those above there. So the amber rear now, we're going to hide all and turn on all of these rear amber lights. So we got 8 of those. So what we can do is we can either A, cut this into 4, B, cut it into 2, or C, cut it into 3, or even run it as 8 of them. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pair up these on opposing sides and make it flash back and forth, is what I would do. But for the sake of just showing you the non-ELS rotators, we'll get rid of these. And then our lights here, I will just set up as extra lights to make my life easier. There's all of those screws. You could get rid of those if you wanted to save polys and lose the details. Extra modules are for those. SLR chassis is that. Those are for that. Alrighty. Cool. So now I'm going to open up a user mode here to do this. And we'll come here into polygon mode with the detach tool. And detach that. Polygon mode with detach tool and detach that. And then we will go ahead and reset all of these axes. Then we'll go ahead and create a copy of those and convert those to dummies. Alrighty. And if you couldn't already tell, the music I'm listening to is Your Favorite Martian. Definitely giving me earlier life vibes there. So now I'm going to come into world axis here, and I'm just going to rotate these to, oh, hey, got to shut off pivot when I rotate dummies. I'm just going to rotate these to where the extra lights for the alleyways are going to have proper emissives. And then we'll come back here into screen view. We can turn pivot back on. Shut these off. Alrighty. Axes, reset to parent. And then we'll go ahead and call this extra light. Alrighty. Properties, external state, we're going to make sure this is 14 on everything real fast. What 14 is that's your extra light, so essentially it functions whenever your headlight brights are turned on. And you're going to want to set it on your vertice and your poly and then main. That'll be good. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and LOD these dummies. The reason these dummies are there is there to tell the game where the actual corona is. So, the part that blinds you. Oh fuck, don't do that. There we go. Alright, so we can shut that off, and then we'll take the white glass here and the glass covers here. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach the glasses all together here. Then I'm going to take the wire and the pods, attach those, attach that to the chassis, attach that to the extra modules if I can hit it here. Maybe. attach the extra modules to it then. And then we'll just go ahead and pull that off and turn that on and attach that to that. We'll call this siren glass 1. And we'll send it to the very bottom there. We'll go ahead and take our glass axes and just reset the axes the way they need to be. Oh, autosave. There we go. Center to object. Come on. Can I please? There we go. Then we'll just come here, create a copy, and convert that copy to a dummy. And then we will compound it. Oh, yes. I forgot to attach the screws here to the main chassis. So we'll go ahead and do that real fast as well. There we go. Alrighty, so now all we have to deal with here is the module. So I'm in a pretty good point here to go start the actual non-ELS process itself for the rotators. I've set up all the little extra lights here the way they need to be. I've set up the glass properly the way it needs to be. So now we're off to the modules, and this is your most important part of anything. So, very interesting process here. I'm going to go ahead and come back into our top view, and it would look like our axes are already perfectly centered in these modules, so I'm actually going to just create duplicates of these modules, and those are going to get converted to dummies. And that'll be my siren dummies. Alright. So, now here's where it gets really interesting, right? So if I hide all. So, this module 1, this red one here, and this module 1 are all going to be together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the actual emissive itself. And this will be our siren _1, right? And so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the actual mesh itself here, and this is going to get called misc _1. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag siren _1 under module 1, and we'll drag misc 1 under module 1. Alright, and so that's that one. So now we're going to come here with, you know, the white from module 2, we'll call this siren _2. We'll call module _2 misc _2. And I'm just going to go down and name these appropriately real fast. So we got misc 3, misc 4, misc 5, 6, and 7. Oh. And now I'm going to go name the sirens appropriately. So alrighty. And so now we're going to drag siren 2 under module 2, misc 2 under module 2. Alrighty. Alrighty, so now that you have this, I'm just going to shut everything off real quick, except for the sirens. And I'm going to go ahead and reset their axes to the parent, because that's what they're actually going to rotate around. So your miscellaneous should share the same axis as your sirens, which it's appearing it does. So, hide everything here. We'll start with Siren 7, aka Module 7, so we're going to name all these top ones Siren as well. Alrighty. So now that you've done that, where you're gonna have your dummies, you're gonna have your miscellaneous meshes, and your sirens. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through and turn all of your sirens that are going to be used on for rotators. You're gonna select them all, make sure pivot is off, like you would whenever you normally scale, and we're gonna scale them. So these ones I'm gonna scale down by 10. They should work by 10, no problem. And what I'm going to do is come here into this, and we'll just turn on this mesh here. And yeah, that's pretty well hidden. You're not going to notice that in game. You can make it even smaller if you want to. I mean, I would scale by 50 normally, but this is just going to give you the idea for the tutorial. So, now we are going to hide all, and we're going to go take all of our miscellaneouses here. Put them all on, create a copy of all of them, and convert them to dummies. And what we're going to do now is just basically turn on everything, and we're going to go through and LOD all of our sirens and all of our miscellaneous meshes. So, we're going to start off here with Siren 7 since it's at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and do the miscellaneous. And so this actually uses the exact same method that the road array I have uses.
I was talking to this girl from the US nation. The way that I met her was on tour on concert. She had long hair and a short mini skirt. I just got on stage dripping pouring with sweat. I was walking through the crowd and guess who I met? I whispered in her ear, "Come to the picture booth so I can ask you some questions, see if you're 100 proof." I asked her name, she said blah blah blah. She had 9-10 pants and a very big bra. I took her to a couple of flicks and she was enthused. I said, "How do you like the show?" She said, "I was very amused." I started throwing bass, she started throwing back mid-range, but when I sprung the question, she acted kind of strange. Then I asked, "Do you have a man?" She tried to pretend. She said, "No, I don't.
Alrighty.
I only have a friend." You got what I need, but you say
Almost there. I hate LODing stuff. This is the most dreaded part for me of making any vehicle. I will place everything, I will get all the LODs ready, and then it gets so boring. This is like, normally I go to L3. I mean, so this is a shit show right now. Alrighty. Now that we've done that, we got all that there. Just click Show All. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Notepad here. I'm going to drag it over here so I can open this, and I'm just going to double check here. Siren 7 is going to be blue. And then 6 will be white. Siren 5 is red. Siren 4 is white. Siren 3 is blue. Siren 2 is white. And Siren 1 is red. So now that we've done that there, we're pretty much done minus LODing this one up here, so we'll call this here. Just double check here to see what any miscellaneouses are called in here. So we have A, C, D. Sure, we have a B, so we'll just call this miscellaneous J. She was there, it was the first semester of the school year. I went to a gate to ask where was a dorm. This dude made me fill out a visitor's form. He told me where it was, and I was on my way to see my baby doll. I was happy to say I arrived in front of the dormitory. Yo, could you tell me where is door 3? They showed me where it was.
moment. I didn't know that I was in for such an event. So I came to a room and I opened the door. Oh,
Alrighty.
guess what I saw? A fella tongue kissing my girl on the mouth, and I was so in shock. My heart
Now I'm going to just put that right below dials there, and we are set. That is basically your Z-modeler part. Obviously, you want to come here into your material browser, and you want to drag your vehicle light emissives upward. And which, of course, amber backlights isn't used, nor is hubcap, so I'm actually just going to delete those real quick since they're unused materials. And so we'll just click OK.
Alright, here we go.
And we'll just call this Tut Charge, because it's, well, we'll call it 18 Tutorial. Because it's our tutorial vehicle. Go ahead, export it here, and we will come to the Non-ELS Rotator tutorial. We'll call it 18 Tutorial. No, do 18 Tutorial underscore high. Alrighty. And so I'm just going to briefly pause here, and we'll go ahead, open up OpenIV, and do that process here, and we'll resume once we're there.
Yeah, we're gonna take over the world,
Alright.
DJ. Me and you. I love that sample.
Alrighty, so now we're here in OpenIV, and what we're going to do is do the same thing we did in the regular non-ELS tutorial. We're just going to go ahead and create our YTD, so we're going to go into edit mode. In which, actually, we aren't even going to have to do that, because the beauty of Mr. Peralta's charger is we come here with Mr. Peralta's charger in our folder. He includes YTDs that I can just put in here and rename. So we'll just call this 18 Tutorial. Plus high. We'll just rename this one 18 Tutorial. Come here into the 18 Tutorial one. And we'll just drag our lightbar textures from the textures folder included into here. And we'll ignore that it didn't import Plastic Spec 2 because it says that all the time. It's annoying. So, it's looking like either A, it's missing something there, B, I'm just not noticing it. We'll find out once we're in game. I don't have time to fuck with that. So now that that's done there, we're gonna go ahead and just open up our Visual Studio Code, which I already conveniently have open. And now we're gonna go through here and fuck with the lights. So, the way you gotta do this is very interesting. So, you have your rotation value, as well as your flashiness value. Now, you want your rotation and your flashiness sequencers to be identical. These have to be the same. So, we're just going to go through here, and anything that rotates, we're going to make sure it's on, no matter what. Whole thing on. So, it would appear now that 1 through 7 is set up properly, which is good. So now, I'm going to come down here, make sure scale's on, and make sure rotate's on. And we're scaling by 10 on these, so I'm going to go ahead and just copy that our scale factor there. Alrighty. So now, we have Siren 1 here. And with Siren 1, we're going to go ahead and change our start value here, because this actually determines when it's going to start rotating and give you a rotation different aspects to it. So our BPM, I think I'm going to set our BPM to about 670. We'll have one start immediately. We'll have two start at like 3. We'll have 3 start at like a 1.5. 4 will have start at 8. You know, I haven't really played with the start values enough to just kind of say, you know, yeah, this will look great. But the idea is to have everything look amazing. 7 will have start at like 11. We'll see how this looks. Now the biggest thing to note here is you don't want to mess with the speed value on your rotation, because that actually determines how much it rotates. The only time you want to do that is if you want like an oscillating kind of ordeal, kind of like Mars lights, and like if you're to do a Federal Signal Viewpoint where it has the oscillating lights that just go back and forth instead of doing a full rotate, that's when you'd use your speed value. But what we're going to do now is make sure that both scale and rotate value are on all of these. So what I'm going to do just to ease my time is I'm going to take a rotate value here and I'm going to do a replace all, because I know none of my other sirens are in use. And we're going to go ahead and just come here and get my colors for the light bar to make sure those are set up properly. So, that notepad we created earlier, we're going to pull that back up so we see Siren 7's blue. Oh. Drag that back over here then. Actually, we'll just go ahead and so we know Siren 3 is going to be blue. And we know that Siren 7 is going to be blue. We know that Siren 6 . We know that Siren 4 and Siren 2 are all going to be white, which is set up correctly. And then the rest are going to be red, so Siren 1 and 5. And now that that's done, we'll just go ahead and close this. I don't care about that anymore, I know what they are. And that is pretty much the gist of your carcools there, is just making sure all that's good to go. So now that that's set up, we can go ahead here and just save our carcools. And we are all set up, so I will meet you guys in game. Alrighty, so apparently I am brilliant, people, and I will show you what happens if you do what I did. So this will be a little correction on the naming, and hopefully you caught it ahead of time. I will definitely edit over it. But here's our charger in game, correct? Yes, I turn on the lights, but the lights don't move. You know, I clearly have a siren, I have a charger here, I have a really nice charger that I can, you know, do all of this nice stuff to, right? But there's an issue with this charger, and that's that our rotators are not working. So I'm going to go ahead and just save this real quick as it is. Tutorial charger. And I'm going to show you where we goofed up here. So, when I was telling you to do everything in CMod there, I'd made the mistake of putting underscores after all the sirens and miscellaneous meshes. Don't do that, please. Please do not do this. This is a mistake I made, and this shows that, you know, you definitely make a lot of mistakes when you do stuff. So, we'll go ahead and remove all of these. Now, my friends, we will export this to 18 tutorial. And we will export this to 18 tutorial high. So we'll go ahead and delete this real fast. Alrighty, and we'll come here. Alrighty. We'll see if this did it. I might have to restart the server itself. Yes. We'll restart the server. Alrighty, we're back here in 5M now. And now we're going to come here over to my local host. So I turned the BPM down to 300 because it was having some issues with high BPM. But like I said, the issue with the naming was just an honest mistake, and it's going to get labeled that you need to not have it there. And still working on learning how to edit very well, and I don't want to waste a lot of time editing, so that's part of the reason why we're looking for a person on the Finch Mods team. So if you or a buddy of yours is illegal to work in the United States and would be interested, definitely make a ticket in the Discord, you know, you could get a job. But now we're here and we have a charger with working rotators. Look at that. So let's go ahead and set it to nighttime here and get a little patrol kind of ordeal. You know, you're here, you're in Los Santos, right? Los Santos has a lot of crime. So, you know, you're here, you're going down. And now you got your rotators properly working the way you want them to. Like I said, play with that start function. That's what makes these not rotate the same way. The reason those are all rotating at different increments is because of that start function. Because it just tells one to start rotating after the other. That's what you have to do, because you don't want, you know, you don't want your rotators, not your rotatings. God damn it, I cannot speak, man. You don't want your fucking rotators to rotate all at the same time, or it's gonna look stupid. That's that. Now, what I showed you with the alleyways earlier, let's show you why that's important, right? You're here down an alley. Now your side alleyways are actually lit up as well as your front. So those side alleyways are also lit up as well as your front takedowns when you turn on your brights. So you've just fundamentally saved a siren, you get a strong corona, and you still get your alleyways. So that's your non-ELS rotator tutorial, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to cover with it other than that. I mean, you have to spare some sirens for the rotators, but, you know, you have to spare sirens with everything. That's the way the game works. So, but yeah, I figured I'd throw in the little alleyway trick there with that, and definitely subscribe. I mean, I'll appreciate that a lot. We're gonna go ahead and try to eventually get partnered with YouTube through the YouTube Partner Program, so every subscription helps, and I'm sure this video will provide plenty of watch hours towards the 4,000 required. You know, and I think the next video we're going to do is rotor rays. I mean, we've done the rotators here, as we can see. We have the proper working rotating light bar, so I think we might go ahead and do rotor rays after this. I think rotor rays would be very exciting to see how people would go about using the knowledge they would gain from me there to create new, exciting ideas. Because that's where I learn a lot of my stuff, is I watch people do stuff, and I think, okay, if this works here, what can I do to make it work here for a different purpose? That's how I made the working ladders, and, you know, was, okay, people use the scoop dummy to make spotlights turn. Why not just take the forklift dummies in and rotate them? And it worked. It worked perfectly. Forklift and dock handler dummies rotated, attach it to the turret, it worked fantastic. So that's going to be the end of the video for now, though, guys. I mean, definitely check out all the other tutorials coming out. Check out some of the other videos, too, even, you know. Stop by the live streams. I do regular giveaways, you know. I said the first time we hit 100 concurrent viewers at the same time, I will give away a dev base. So for all you people who are developers watching this, definitely check that out. The bitrate's probably horrible through here because I'm using Streamlabs instead of OBS, but I wanted to try it. So I guess we'll come here and we'll stop here and show you the alleyways. And so I think I'm going to call this the end of the video, guys. So definitely be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe, check out the Discord if you have any questions whatsoever. I have a full channel dedicated to support there. Check out the links to Matt Peralta's charger, and I will link Razor's Patreon below as well, where you can find the lightbar used here, or you can use Otaku's Vision, that's for free. I'll link it down below as well. And I think we're going to call this a wrap for the day, guys, so thank you guys for checking out the video, and if you need any support at all, like I said, don't hesitate to let me know.